Is there a cure for Latin America's entrenched lack leadership and poverty? If you ask Carlos and Jeanette Lopez, you don't even need words for an answer. What you see in their eyes tells you everything. Yes, they reply simultaneously. This couple, parents of 3 adult children, makes their home in Toronto, Ontario. They are equally at home in any of the many Caribbean, Central and South American republics. For them, the hemisphere is like a vast field of service. They have participated in various ministries, radio, television, counseling, conferences, and most recently, training people in vulnerable communities in order to break down the circle of poverty by starting their own small businesses. Born and educated in Colombia, Carlos and Jeanette came to Quebec, Canada, and after 2 years, they decided to move from Quebec to Toronto. They started worshipping at the People's Church in Toronto. At that moment, Dr. Charles Price was the senior pastor and preacher at People's. Soon, they discover on his teaching an endlessness source of knowledge, spiritual growing and hope. Then God inspirited them to bring this needed message to the Spanish world. In a very short time, Charles Price's sermons started to be translated into Spanish and then transmitted by more than 700 radio and television stations in 26 countries across the Latin American and the Caribbean. This media network was built by Carlos and Jeanette, walking in each single country and knocking on the media door one by one. This partnership enriched countless thousands of Caribbean and Latin Americans for 10 years, but many stations still airing those more than 200 programs until today. For 10 years, they also translated a daily devotional, 200 study guides, and I7 Charles Price's books. In 2018, Carlos and Jeanette joined Latin America Mission Canada, LAM Canada. Knowing that in average, 90% of current Latin American pastors and Christian community leaders do not have any theological or another relevant education, and 45% of them don't even have a high school diploma. Regardless, they are preaching and leading Christian churches, ministries, and community to support Latin leaders by providing study resources and training. So he created UniTell, training and equipping Latin American leaders. Then, Jeanette created a new learning program called Action Against Poverty to break down the poverty cycle and reactivate the local economy in small Latin American, vulnerable community. Using an entrepreneurship strategy, Carlos and Jeanette went to 3 countries: the Dominican Republic, Costa Rica, and Colombia. There, over 800 unemployed and low-income parents attended this 3-day seminar, learning how to start their own business, market homemade products, and maintain a viable business. In March 2022, the couple generated 200 more new small business initiatives in Mexico and 200 more entrepreneurship projects in Ecuador. The program involves a 3-day intensive entrepreneurship training. After the global pandemic, this was even more urgent because thousands of Latin Americans were further impoverished when they could gainfully earn a living. Carlos has been before more than 10,000 pastors and leaders in his ministry. Recently, additional seminars brought hundreds more together in Bolivia and California, are held in local churches where pastors and church leaders can form deep relationships with people interested in providing for their family. Ministries and countries asking for TLLL, training and equipping Latin American leaders, and for action against poverty is long and keeps increasing. Your prayer, encouragement, and financial support to Carlos and Jeanette will contribute to the consolidation of the solid Christian leadership and to break down the circle of poverty in vulnerable communities in Latin America. Please visit our webpage lamcanada.ca. From there, you can select the option Missionaries, and once there, you will find every single country where LAM is present and the missionary profile you want to support. Thank you for joining LAM to transform Latin America and Caribbean vulnerable communities into vibrant Christian society by the gospel of Jesus Christ. We appreciate if you invite others to the action by sharing this video with your relatives, friends, colleagues, and social media. Thank you for watching, sharing, and supporting. God bless you.